pie.
Do you guys have content?
Well, I mean, I do for our beginning stuff, and then whoever calls in, I mean, we'll just go from there.
We're live right now, Jared, on YouTube.
We are live.
We should have used my computer.
That's okay.
Well, I'm just saying my camera's better.
So I'm going to tweet this out on 21st Finance, too.
What if we don't have any viewers, Jeff?
That's what I told him, man.
That'd be kind of sad.
I don't have that many subscribers on YouTube. Jared, how's your day, buddy?
Well, I'm doing this week-long. I'm actually in Bellevue.
Yeah, how's your training?
It's very cool, dude.
Is it interesting?
Very interesting. It's like, do you kind of know the concept of generative design?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically you start with kind of a solid part.
Yeah.
You set up the constraints. You set up what portions can't change. You set up the forces. You tell it, I want to maximize stiffness while minimizing weight. And, it does like these thousands of iterations and comes out with multiple, thousands of different possible designs.
Right. So the way I use it, not to interrupt you, but we do that in like crop modeling. We put in all of our stuff and we put in a bunch of fixed constraints and like our fixed factors and our random factors. And we plug in kind of like maybe the ranges that we want. And it spits out all kinds of different stuff. Like if this, and this, like we get different end results. So it's kind of the same thing, but
yeah, no, I'd say that kind of is. So my training is so obviously generative design is a lot because you come up with these really weird organic looking structures, right? Mm-hmm. So it's perfect for additive manufacturing because otherwise it's almost impossible to build traditionally. So the training is basically just like how to get how do we go from generative design to having a build file that you press, so that's what I'm basically getting trained on. So
it sounds like it's a pretty big deal too, dude.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah.
Start the podcast, man. Let's just start it.
Well, let's just do
generative design to.
That sounds perfect.
To having a build file that you press, so that's what I'm basically getting trained on. So
it sounds like it's a pretty big deal too, dude.
Oh,
Should I turn this on vibrate or just leave it on silent?
We'll see it.
Okay.
All right, do your thing, JP.
All right, hang on. I want to check the YouTube thing quick. Jared, you ready just to kind of fuck around? Nobody's watching us on YouTube, so
that's fine. I got something that we can start with. It's something that pisses me off. So,
really? Okay. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is while we're recording, we're gonna leave this up, so we can actually see ourselves. All right, guys. Welcome back to the program. As always, I am joined by two of my best friends. This is Three Angry Men. Thanks, Jared, by the way, for that tip on the name change. Jared Gross, Gunnar Dinkel. Welcome back to the show, boys.
Hey, Jeff. Good to be here, man.
Hey, boys.
So, Gunnar.
Well, actually, we should start out with Jared. Jared, tell the crowd what happened today.
Yeah, just a little update from last week.
We need the Seattle update.
Yeah, still in Seattle. Still no stuff. It's been close to a month. I'm coming up on a month now of living out of one carry-on suitcase because I left June 20th, and what's today? July 17th or something?
Hey, shout out 17th. We'll take it.
It's a great date, but I didn't have a good day, really, because I get the email from the lady, and she is just freaking fantastic at sending emails right at 4:30 Central Time.
Oh,
yeah.
That's when she loves to give me updates. So then I check my email, I get the email, I respond back, and you get the automatic reply.
Yeah, she's already out of the office.
Oh, yeah, she's getting her nails done. Yeah, she's out of the office. She is clocked out. She's got a margarita in her hand already, I'm sure. But so this is the email I get today. Hey, Jared, as we discussed, your shipment should be in Seattle today, and it looks like that's true, but we're not going to deliver it to your place until Thursday.
Why?
That's my thought process too. So that's why I wanted to send an email back. I'm like, well, if it's in Seattle, it might as well be in my place.
So do they have to send it to like a warehouse and then,
I don't know. I'm sure it's got to change hands 3 times for efficiency reasons, right? That sounds efficient. So.
It's weird is like
catalog it.
All your stuff is 30 minutes away, like on another part of the city. I don't understand why it takes 2 days, Jared. That's annoying.
Hey, I did a little. I was so mad. I did a little quick math on a backside of an envelope.
Yeah.
Right. So Marcus to Seattle is roughly 1,500 miles.
Okay.
and in 1 month there are 720 hours.
Right.
Guess how, if my luggage started walking from Marcus to Seattle for 24 hours for 1 month, what do you think its average velocity was?
For 1 month?
Do the math quick, Jeff.
I could tell you the math. I'll just give it to you. 2.08 miles per hour.
That's like,
I guarantee you there is some species of a tortoise that moves fast, like whose top speed is faster than 2.08 miles per hour.
Have you seen that popular vine before of that turtle when it's like next to the lake and then it runs like 15 miles an hour?
Okay, yeah, well, there you go. Definitely.
It exists, Jared.
2.08 miles an hour, huh?
That's sad.
Jared, before we get kind of going, listeners, by the way, none of you probably are live yet, but we tweeted earlier today, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, new thing we're going to start doing. We will be taking your phone calls. So in about 3 minutes, hopefully the phones will be ringing. If they don't ring, it will be a little embarrassing, but we'll make it happen.
Learn from it.
Yeah, we will learn from it.
The 3 angry men, well, I'm sure we'll have enough to talk about, but we want to hear your guys' hot takes. So
we are also on YouTube Live. If this goes as successful as I was dreaming this in my head last night.
How many viewers did you think you'd get? 10?
Do you mean on YouTube Live?
Yeah.
Well, I only have like 5 YouTube subscribers, so you never know.
Do people have to subscribe to watch you?
I don't know. I honestly don't know how it works. I've never gone YouTube Live before. It's kind of weird seeing our faces on the web camera.
Yeah. Yep.
But anyways, Jared, keep talking to me. What else is making you mad, buddy?
Well, hey, I'm going to start out with mine now.
Okay.
So I was thinking about this today. Eric just texted me. He's like, "Are you guys still doing that call live thing?"
Yeah, of course.
Well, if Eric was on Twitter, he'd know.
Yeah. That's really annoying that Eric doesn't have Twitter.
Yeah. So I was driving to campus today. I had to drop off some samples or something, and I saw this really ugly car. It was a Nissan Cube. Okay. Do you know what that looks like?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the ugly car, right? And that got me thinking, like, how fast did the guy that like created that car and the guy that approved that car get fired? And then what also pisses me off is what goes through the person's mind that buys that car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's 3 people in that process that shouldn't have a job, or they shouldn't. I mean, why do cars like that exist, Jared?
So I'm pitching. I totally understand what you're saying. So there's a designer who's like the final assembly designer.
Yep.
He's sitting and he's got his CAD file open and he's looking at a Nissan Cube and he's like, "Yep, that's it.
Yes, we are making this."
Yeah, and then he takes it to his manager, like the production systems senior vice president, and he's like, "Frank, that's beautiful. Let's build it."
Boom, puts the stamp on it. Let's do this.
Yeah. But then there's the third person who wakes up on a nice Saturday afternoon. He's like, "I'm going to go car shopping."
You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do today? I'm buying myself a Nissan Cube.
You know what's funny? Like, I just picture the guy that who's like, "All right, guys. So what's this Nissan Cube going to be like?" It's like their first visual, say press conference.
I mean, you could say like the Pontiac Aztek too. Wasn't that like the worst selling car? I'm just cars like that.
Just think about the guy, Jared, the head designer. That's like the visual marketing guy. He's like, "All right, here's our first rendition of the Nissan Cube." I would assume there'd be some people that would just laugh in the guy's face at that meeting.
Because it looks exactly like a cube, doesn't it?
It's a box. It's a box on wheels, dude.
It's disgusting. Almost.
Absolutely ugly. Well, either way, we'll keep talking about cars or whatever, but it is 7:59. So if the phones start ringing, Jared, we will get talking to the listeners. We have 0 listeners or 0 watchers on YouTube Live.
What happens if we get a hold line?
Oh,
I'll have to call back.
Yeah, I guess we should have said that. If they were watching YouTube, they would know that.
They would be watching YouTube. But either way, listeners, if you don't call in this week, there's always next week. We will try doing this every week. Because of my podcast, we are trying to innovate and make it better, which I think I've done a pretty good job, honestly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think it's gotten better. What do you think, Jared?
You're not evolving as much as Fortnite does.
No, God,
you're not as creative as Fortnite.
I don't have the money, though, either to do that.
That's okay.
But eventually, once we get going, maybe we get some better equipment.
The ideas are there.
The ideas are there.
Okay.
Jared, what do you think is one thing we can improve about the show? As a kind of a big contributor?
Man, I don't know. I mean, like I said, it would be cool if we could get some listeners on.
Yeah.
Or some people to actually call in.
Jeff did buy a podcast microphone now, so we're actually using a microphone instead of just the computer.
Really? How much did that set you back?
$20 big.
Wow.
Not bad at all, man.
No, that's nice.
But you know what's
doing that from the get-go.
Yeah.
Well, I have another podcast microphone. I bought one off Amazon when I was back up in the Meth Town, Iowa, at the Harry Perkins Memorial Studio. But it didn't have like the USB thing. It had to I had to buy like $100 like mixer to make it work, and it was a massive failure, Jer.
Yeah, you'll have that.
Yeah, I mean it's part of the game. But
I mean, Jared, I guess we can ask you what is upsetting you this week, besides the moving company again.
Right. Well, I have written down here. I live I'm kind of city living, right? So I live next to 3 grocery stores. I walk to the grocery store because one of them is right below me, and then 2 others are just a block away. So I'm I try to get a feel for which one I want to go to.
Yeah, is it? Sorry to interrupt you. Is it equivalent to me walking to AJ's Liquor?
Way closer.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's way closer than that even.
Okay.
So I have a QFC, which is a Kroger brand,
mm-hmm.
And then there's Safeway, and then there's Trader Joe's.
Yep.
So I tried Trader Joe's because that's the closest one, and I didn't really know what to expect, and it was full of hippies.
Yeah, I should have warned you about that.
Full of gauged earlobes and forearm tattoos and pierced nipples and purple hair and a bunch of stuff. Right.
You're not going to find GMOs there either.
Right. And I was in the breakfast section, which is a great section. If we should have a list, Jeff, of top 5 best grocery sections in the grocery store.
That's a good one.
I love the breakfast section. You get hash browns, eggs, sausage, pancakes, the frozen. Oh, I love that section.
You mean the kind of that section? It's the frozen divide versus the cooler of you have the eggs and those
yes,
those cool,
exactly.
Those hash browns that are those and they come in that green bag and they have the onion flavor
Simply Potato.
You know what that reminds me of? You always made those breakfast burritos for me.
Yes,
those were so good, dude. So good.
I know. I love Simply Potato. You should get sponsored by them. But anyway, back to the story.
Yeah.
I got eggs and I got hash browns, and then I was looking for, sausage that is meat. And
right.
all I see is
no. Usually it is
right. All I see is meatless sausage, which that's just that's a what is that? What's that word? An oxymoron.
Yeah.
Meatless sausage. And then I even tapped this lady on the shoulder. I'm like, hello, this is the breakfast section. Do you know where I can find sausage that has meat in it? And she says, no, that's all we have.
How many times do you think that question's been asked?
I don't know. Well, probably
in the history of the world, no one asked hey, where's the sausage that has meat in it?
Right. It's
it's a given.
Sausage. It's jumbo shrimp. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really get that. I mean, part of it though, Jared, is we come from Iowa, where sausage.
We eat meat.
We eat meat.
Yeah, right, but I would never have guessed that Seattle doesn't have sausage that is meat. Sorry, man.
Well, it's just I'm not going to Trader Joe's again. I'm not.
No. Jared, now that you moved out to Seattle, what do you think's one new food you will eat? What do you think something that your taste buds are gonna
out here. Mm-hmm. I usually get the cheapest possible I can, even back home I get the 80-20 mix, which is greasy.
Oh yeah. And in the tube. In the tube.
Yes, yeah. In the tube. So back home you can get it for $3 sometime, am I right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And out here the cheapest I can find is $5.40. So I'm right next to that there was some frozen salmon fillets for $5 a pound. So I'm salmon is cheaper than 80-20 ground beef.
Yeah, well, and then out here, salmon is super expensive.
Right. So Iowa. I've had salmon a couple times now. So
are you a fan of it? Not a lot of people are.
No, I like it.
I mean, I think it's something you either really like or something that's just no thanks.
Yeah, I'm kind of a no thanks on that. I don't hate it, but it's just not for me. I'm not a big salmon guy.
Jeff and I went to Hy-Vee yesterday. Pork loins, 77 cents a piece, Jared.
You can't afford not to.
Yo, we're rolling in them right now.
Are there ever any days, Jared, you miss like Fairway and Hy-Vee?
I haven't been out here long enough to completely miss it.
I'm sure you will.
You will eventually.
You know what I don't miss is grocery store parking lots.
Hey, Jared, can you tell our listeners the three given things?
3 given things. Isn't it specific to Sundays?
No, it's death, taxes, and the Hy-Vee parking lot being full on Sundays.
Okay.
Like those are 3 givens in life.
I thought it was like 3 givens on Sundays, like Jesus Christ, busy parking lots and Hy-Vee and, football or something. But no, definitely.
The 4th one would be like busy Perkins restaurants too. I love Perkins restaurant obviously more than anybody, but it's just
kind of cool being a part-time owner of Perkins.
You know how many times I've actually gotten that in my life though? Like seriously, like a stupid amount of times where it's like not funny at all. Like not at all, honestly. But Jared, is there anything else making you mad this week?
How about this one?
Okay.
I don't know what really made me think of this. Wait, no, it's because I was at a bar this weekend that had bags set up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with this girl who called it cornhole.
Of course.
I can't stand it when people call it cornhole.
I've been seeing that on Twitter a lot too. Is that an actual thing? People actually call it cornhole?
I think a lot of people call it cornhole.
Wow. I hate that. It's bags, dude. It's just totally bags. You know what that reminds me of? Remember that Kansas State game where me and you played bags?
Sophomore year,
and we got screwed out of that game.
No, we won that game.
The people went over in that game, Jared. They went over like to 22, I'm pretty sure. And they're like, oh, no, we don't like do the game where if you go over, you go back to 13.
I thought, Jeff, I was playing with you.
No, it was me and Gunner.
Oh, really? Okay.
Back in the heyday.
Yeah. But yeah, they went over.
I got screwed over one time with Sam. Isn't Beersby? Don't you actually have to like get it right on 21 in Beersby as well?
Yes, absolutely.
With the frisbee.
Okay, that's what happened with Sam and I. Samurai. Because at a tailgate, we were playing some randos too, and like they went over 21 in Beersby, and they thought that they won. I'm like, no, you have to land exactly on 21, and they said no, and I'm like, oh, and then it left. That was it.
Sorry, man.
Jeff, you know what that reminds you of?
What's that?
Remember, I actually wasn't there, but I heard this story was legendary. Was freshman year. It was you, Hef, Derek, like all the boys, basically except me. And you actually went inside Jack Trice and watched the football game. And it was like a mushroom soup day outside.
Okay.
And you lost the odds to fishtail a random girl in front of you with your head.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So what happened was I think, I don't know, there's like these 3 girls in front of us or whatever. And I was just like, oh, Derek, like these girls aren't bad looking at all or whatever. And Derek's just like, 1 in 100, you fishtail her, but you use your 100? 1 in 100. He says you fishtail her, but you use your head. And I was like, oh,
describe to the listeners what a fishtail is.
So fishtail, it's actually called salmon tail. Or either or. But basically, you put your hand between their like calves, and you just slap like the inside of both of their calves, and it's actually quite annoying.
But you had to do that with your head.
I had to do it with my head though, which is a total power move.
It was 1 in 100. I'd take those odds any day of the week.
Jared, when we do 1 in 100, what's my go-to number? I've said it many times. I feel like you should know this.
56?
No, it's 67. Remember?
Oh, okay.
So yeah, remember, Jared? Come on.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
So yeah, we did 1 in 100, and then me and Derek got 67 somehow, and it was so awkward. I just remember like I did it for like 3 seconds, and the girl just turned and looked at me, gave me the ultimate glare of death, and then I'm pretty sure they just like walked away. They moved somewhere in the stadium. But
that's good, clean fun though.
No, it's really not. No, it's really not. If that happened in 2018, Jeff could get big trouble for that.
No, good thing it was 2013, man. Where you know, Jack Trice Stadium, that was a wild, wild west 5 years ago.
Jeff, you were 18 years old.
I was a young pup.
You had a full head of hair back then.
Oh, my God. Hey, we have a caller.
We have our first caller on the line, Jared. Are you ready?
I am.
We're not going to tell you who it is.
All right, listeners, welcome taking the over. We have our first caller on the show. Who is this calling us?
Hey, Jeff and Gunner,
it's Eric. Eric, where are you calling from?
Peoria, Illinois.
Oh, what's up, Peoria, Illinois? Eric, what do you got for us?
I got
not really a question, but two things kind of, unless Gunner's already brought one of them up. Two things that pissed me off.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, bring it on. Four angry men.
Yeah. First one is when fat people say such and such isn't a sport.
Ooh, Jared, did you hear that?
I missed the very last word. What was that?
He said when fat people say such and such isn't a sport. Let's say soccer is not a sport.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're okay with anyone else saying it unless you're fat?
Well, I feel like you're a lot less entitled to discriminate what is and isn't a sport if you're obese.
Jeepers, Eric, that's kind of savage.
Well, it happened at work the other day, and it just really pissed me off.
So if a fat person says NASCAR isn't a sport, It would piss you off more than if I said NASCAR isn't a sport.
Probably because that fat butt couldn't fit in the car anyway.
Oh my god!
Eric
is an electric track.
So you're saying this person, whoever says it, should be able to play that sport.
Remotely able to attempt the sport.
Eric, so
I know exactly what he's saying though.
Eric,
it does make sense. It does, but not very politically correct. But
Eric, question for you on that.
Yeah.
So when that fat person or whoever it was at work said that, did you say anything to them? Like, did you have a response to them?
No, I just kind of turned around and went back to my work.
Then he just roasts him behind his back on 21st Finance.
Yeah.
Eric, what was the second thing you got for us, buddy?
Wait, hold on.
Wait, Jared has something.
You guys were talking about the World Cup. What was that?
Yeah. So it was Monday morning. We're talking about the World Cup. I'm like, did you guys watch France win? Two of the guys were like, yeah, I saw it. Another one's like, really don't watch soccer. Tim behind me goes, soccer's not a sport.
So he's kind of asking for it.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, give me a lap. Walking into your desk every day is a sport for you. You never know if you're going to
I bet that guy back in 1986, he was like the backup left guard for his, 1A high school football team that lost in the district semifinals.
Yeah, exactly.
Eric, this is your best.
In Iowa.
Eric, this is your best segment on the podcast you've had so far. You're funny today.
Eric, I forgot to actually congratulate you on France winning. That's kind of your alma mater, kind of?
Yeah, I talked to Gunnar about that. I was like, I do have a soft spot since I lived there for 3 years. Plus, the cool thing was the last time France was in the World Cup in 2006, we were there. So just that atmosphere was insane.
Nice, man.
Well, they didn't win the World Cup.
No, they were in. I can't remember. Did they lose to like Germany back then or something like that?
Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, Eric, what was the second thing you got for us, buddy?
Second thing that pisses me off. This is probably an Illinois thing, maybe just a not Iowa thing, but I hear it a lot in Illinois. When I tell people I went to Iowa State, they're like, "Oh, you're a Hawkeye."
Oh, Jesus.
I feel like Iowa State and University of Iowa, the Cyclones and Hawkeyes, are the most mixed up college teams in the nation.
I feel like in the Midwest, I think that should be a common thing,
Yeah, exactly.
And if you really think about it, Iowa and Iowa State are two very different schools, like
Absolutely.
Big 10, Big 12. One's like kind of reminds me of Chicago a little bit, and then you have Iowa State, which is like the country ag school,
But a good point on it is like they're big schools. Like
that's what I was going to say. It's one thing if you mix up like Montana and Montana State,
right?
But Iowa and Iowa State are two Division I schools, both in Power 5 conferences. Like you should know that,
right? No, I agree. Well, Illinois people are just
Illinois people. I know.
I mean, the few that I've met, including you, Eric.
Well, either way, Eric, we want to thank you for calling in the show, and hopefully
hold on. I want a little bit more of Eric. I got something for Eric.
Uh-oh. Let's hear it, Jared.
Eric, you texted me the other day. Why don't you bring up what pissed you off that you texted me that novel?
Eric loves sending novels.
No, I did laugh. It was funny. Yeah, explain it.
I told Gunnar on the phone the other day, too. I told the story. Okay, so another thing that pisses me off is so we're all, 23, 24 years old, and we're still, we're huge family people, right? We like to call our parents if we're not home, or if we live at home, we see our parents every day. In my case, I live at home right now.
Loser.
Hi.
Loser.
Well, he's got a college degree.
The thing that pisses me off is like parents still trying to act like we're young and do this little like daily reminder of some shit, just to like try to remind themselves that their kids aren't growing up. So I'm walking out the door to work the other morning, and my dad's sitting in the kitchen reading the Wall Street Journal or whatever. I open the door and I get ready to walk outside, and he's like, "Hey, do you remember to brush your teeth this morning?"
Jesus.
I'm like, "Dad, I'm 23. I've been doing it every day."
I think I told you, I was like, my parents haven't asked me if I brush my teeth in probably 15 years.
See, dude, that's the
and
thing.
He hasn't either, but I'm just like, what the fuck?
That's what Eric texted me. He's like, dude, don't you hate it when your parents do that? And I'm like, Eric, my parents haven't told me if I brush my teeth, asked me if I brush my teeth in years.
Did you clean your room?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
gosh.
Like,
yeah, but I mean, those Verheins.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, either way, Eric, thank you for calling in. We got another phone call on the line. We will talk to you soon, buddy.
Hey, see you, boys.
Welcome to Taking the Over. Who is this on the phone?
This is your boy Pete.
Pete, what's going on, buddy? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Cleghorn, Iowa.
Cleghorn, Iowa.
The metropolis.
The metropolis.
It's honestly bustling right now.
What do you got for us, buddy?
All right. So I've got some family over right now. We got on the subject. My mom works at a bank. We got on the subject of credit cards and debit cards.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a young person. I am credit card all the way. Like, I think I'm honestly a bit appalled when people pay with debit card consistently over a credit card. Because here's my thing.
Okay.
What is the advantage of a debit card over a credit card if, and there's a disclaimer on this, if you're responsible with it? As long as you're not racking up debt, and paying the 23.5%.
That's a damn good
interest.
Point.
Like, if you're responsible with a credit card, why not use it? Get a cash back card.
Jared, you might want me to take this one.
Get 1 or 2% back on everything.
Yeah.
That's my thing. And most banks are big enough now to where they have an app and things. But here in the metropolis, that is Cleghorn, our local bank doesn't have an app. So it's not like you can just do all of your, like, we have online banking because we're not quite that behind, but we don't have an app.
No.
Right.
And so, like, my Discover card, if like there's any sort of activity that they think is unwarranted and it's suspicious, they text me, they call me, I can go on my app, I can freeze the card right there, so it's not like I have to cancel it and then it's like, oh, just kidding, I found it in my couch cushion. Now I have to order a new card. Like, to me, there's just no advantage of a debit card over a credit card.
No.
And I'm wondering what you guys feel.
Gunner, go ahead.
Yeah. So, Jared, you knew I was going to take this one. I am pro credit card all the way. I got the Chase Unlimited Freedom, 1.5% cash back on everything. I use that line to pick up girls. So that's another pro of credit cards.
Like at the bar, he'll be like, "Hey, no, honey, I got this one. You're paying me basically.
Yeah, you're making me money." But Pete, I think the only reason a debit card would be advantageous is exactly what you said, like at the beginning, is if you're responsible. Not everyone is responsible with their money. Not everyone understands money. So I think that's where a credit card could get you into a lot of trouble. I don't see any advantage with a debit card. Except for, getting cash. If you need to go to an ATM, that's probably the only.
And that's the only reason I have a debit card.
Right.
And I just keep a couple $100 in it in case I were to ever need cash. Because like the cash advance fee on a credit card is like
it's gross.
Minimum $5 or
easily.
What is it, 6.5% or something. It might be more than that. I don't know.
Jared, what are your thoughts, Jared?
What's that?
What are your thoughts about that, Jared?
No, I actually recently joined the credit card train. Otherwise, I went all through college just on a debit card.
Yeah.
But I do love my credit card. I use it all the time now. I only have $1,000 credit limit, so I need that to get jumped up. But I will say this.
Just go ahead and request an upgrade, and they'll upgrade it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what you've told me. I will say this. I've read a little bit of Dave Ramsey, and Dave Ramsey is like a huge, he's all about debit cards. He actually does not own a credit card. He only uses debit cards. And the reason being is just only pay for the things that you actually have the money for.
The things you need.
But yeah, I think that's a little old school of a thought process.
I'll say one last thing, and then Pete, we will let you go for the rest of the evening. Gunnar always had this saying, I remember in college when it came to credit cards. We'd be at the bar, and he always bought a healthy amount of drinks with the credit card. I remember we went one night. He bought, I don't know, $30 worth of drinks, and he looked at me. He said, it's free money. You don't have to pay it back anyways.
That's right.
It's just free money. So if you have that mentality with credit cards, you might get yourself in trouble, but I see what you're saying, buddy.
All right. Well, hey, thank you guys for the hot take. Enjoy your night.
All right, Pete. We'll see you later.
See you, Pete.
That was good. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was good.
Hey, that was kind of a crossover. It was kind of a what pisses me off and, a little bit of finance.
Yeah,
it kind of was, even though 21st Finance has minimal to do with finance anymore. But yeah.
Hey, we're getting it back on the train. Don't worry.
Hey, I have to ask, were any of those calls staged?
No, they were not.
No, they actually weren't.
You swear?
Pete one was not, and Eric was not. I didn't talk to Eric at all today.
Eric
texted us.
Eric texted us if we were doing it, and we said yeah, and so he called. So
okay, I'm just holding you guys to a high standard. I don't want us to have like a little Spygate or Callgate investigation that all of our callers are frauds and staged.
Well, the thing that kind of sucks, dude, is like I was telling Gunnar this with like the callers coming in or whatever, that like I get a decent amount of listens, like I get a healthy amount of listens on my podcast, but I don't really have a lot of Twitter followers, and I can't. Like the only thing I can hope is that next week that people that listen to this one, like maybe they'll, if we do the same time, like they'll call in because they listened to this week's episode,
Is that what's pissing you off this week?
No, it's just.
Actually, I know what's pissing you off this week.
What's that?
Madden.
Oh my God.
Jared.
Except the game today. I redeemed myself a little bit today.
Yeah, but yesterday was gross, dude.
Is he on a cold streak?
Oh, the coldest. And he was
0-3 yesterday.
So he like threw his controller a little bit like into the couch. And he's like, God, like Madden bumped me up a level, and now all these guys are too good. They're all beating me. And so I come from across the room. I was like, yeah. God. Like crying. And he got mad. But rightfully so. Like you're playing terribly. You're not making good decisions. You're
offensively, I'm playing horrible.
No.
Man.
I don't know what your problem is.
I don't know. My thing is I'm so good with secondary. I can get a lot of interceptions. Like last game I had 4 interceptions. But dude, offensively, I'm doing terrible. But it is what it is. Jared, was there anything else that was making you mad?
I don't even have my list up right now. I was going to bring up one thing, just to give you guys an update.
Sure.
Have you seen there was like Amazon Prime like week or day or something?
Yeah, I got on it yesterday. I was looking at some deals.
Yeah, so yesterday I bought an Amazon Echo Show, and because it was like $100 off, and it was here in like 2 hours.
Which one was? Which one's the show?
It's the one with the 7-inch display.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a decent size speaker. Like the thing is, I needed a Bluetooth speaker anyway, and I'm like, well, heck, I might as well get a Bluetooth speaker with internet capabilities and with a display, and Bluetooth speakers. So I paid $130 for the show, and you could buy a Bluetooth speaker that's just a speaker for way more than that. So I thought it was a good purchase.
And you got the voice control, and like Alexa does a bunch of other, because Alexa's in that, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely. It can give me the weather, sports updates, traffic info, things like that. So anyway, I was plugging it in, all excited, but then I realized something. My router is still in the moving truck, and I don't have Wi-Fi.
No internet for you.
Do you know how useless an Amazon Alexa is without internet?
What is it, just like a clock?
No, it won't even do that. You turn it on, and the first thing it makes you do is connect to Wi-Fi, and I can't. So it is literally a box. That's all it is.
Oh
I paid $130 for this box. Just for sitting in my kitchen table right now.
Jared, you know what made me laugh? Kinda was you had that Snapchat you sent us, and you said like made my first friend in Seattle or whatever.
Yeah, no, that was kind of the reasoning behind getting an Alexa. Is having a girl to talk to. I have a single bedroom apartment. Just if I get lonely, she'll always be there for me.
Have you thought about getting a dog at all?
100% no.
Why not?
Dude, I'm a single guy living in a really cool city in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I have all the freedom in the world. It's the last thing I want.
So you think it's a bad idea if I get a dog then?
100%.
Oh, really, man?
Really? Well,
Yes.
debate this a little bit. I want to hear this out. Jeff, why would you want a dog right now in Des Moines? You're moving downtown.
I mean, yeah. To Jared's point, like it will be kind of tough to like get him to go to the bathroom downtown. Like I'll have to drive him and shit, you know.
That's not what I asked. Why do you want a dog?
Why do I want a dog? One, girls love a guy that has a puppy.
Okay.
Given, like the most loyal companion you can actually have. Like I lived by myself for an entire year in Esterville, Iowa, which sucked. None of you will ever have to do that. It got very lonely living in the house, and now I mean I'll have a roommate, obviously, but I think me, Derek, and a puppy. You never know, man. It might be pretty good. So that's my reason why.
Do you want me to rebuttal?
Yeah, please, because destroy him here.
I finally have a full-time job, like a good-paying, good job. Yep. I'm in a really cool city where there's things happening every night.
Right.
Like tonight, I'm going to play trivia with some people. This weekend, there's some food festivals, and I'm probably going to go out probably Friday and Saturday night. I work all day.
Right.
And then I go to the gym, and then I go grocery shop. Like,
so I'm really not
home all that much.
Your problem is a time commitment.
Yeah, and also I have you guys who are back home. I have parents who are back home. I have friends in Minneapolis, friends in Denver, and friends in Portland. There's nothing stopping me at any given weekend just to buy a plane ticket and go. I don't have to, get someone to watch the dog. I don't have to, take it to the vet. And I also have a clean conscience of knowing that there's not a sad little puppy who's not getting any companionship sitting in my apartment all day long when I'm gone.
Right.
Maybe you're just really selfish, man.
Hey, Jared, I'm not here to pick winners and losers, but you win.
Well, maybe I'm just selfish.
No. What?
Sorry, man.
JP.
That's my argument against you.
But see, I think I'll have time for my puppy, honestly. I think you got to make time for it.
Well,
you got to make time for it.
Jared's just saying he wants to go do all that stuff more than he wants a dog. And you are saying, I would sacrifice some of my social time to have a dog.
I think I could do a lot of that stuff having a dog, truthfully.
Okay. How many people do you have in Des Moines and Ames that could watch the dog if you had to leave?
I mean, a good, healthy handful. Right.
And you have a lot of people. You have a lot of people to bring the dog up to and see. And
I mean, my thing is the big food market. Obviously, in Des Moines is the farmers market. I could easily walk my dog through that. That wouldn't be a big deal.
That's true.
And the thing is, too, yes, I'm working night shift, but Derek could probably be working days. So the fact I have a roommate too, Derek could have it during, Derek could have it, at night or whatever, play with it at night, and I could have it during the day. It'd be basically one of those things that I have to have a commitment from Derek too to help a little bit, I think.
Thanks, Derek.
So I guess, it's different for me and you, Jared, because I'm living kind of where I know more people, obviously, and I'm living with somebody. So I guess it just kind of depends on your situation.
Yeah, I guess I just really don't want to put in any of that type of work. I feel like you go in life stages. You after college, you have that period. Maybe if you're not married and you don't have kids, so I'm gonna try to prolong that time period as much as not having to take care of another life.
Oh, I'm right there with you, man.
I'm not ready to take care of another life. I couldn't even if I got a beta fish, it would die in a couple days. Yeah, I guess it is kind of selfish. I am just kind of looking out for me.
It depends what dog you get, though, because you said the beta fish. Derek had the beta fish. That thing was horrible. I hated it.
Beta fish. You literally don't do anything.
Derek got that fish, and it cursed him. His computer broke a week after he got it. He failed the test. He got sick. That fish was cursed for sure.
Wow.
But the other.
Can I interject?
Go ahead.
Remember, we've already had one story about losing the odds game. Remember how Sam Loveland lost the odds game, and he was supposed to eat. So that beta fish name was Rigo.
Yes,
he was supposed. We cremated Rigo after he passed, and Sam lost the odds to eat. He was supposed to eat Rigo's ashes,
and he never.
And he wouldn't.
No, he
wouldn't.
So he's not a true player of the game. Wow.
No. But can you really blame him?
No,
he got some weird fish AIDS type of disease or something.
I've seen Bebo eat a goldfish, swallow it down the hatch live.
Was he sober?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
But would you rather do that or eat fish ashes?
I would rather eat a live fish, 100%.
I think so too, because then it's more of a fight.
Well, I feel like if you just swallowed it down, you probably won't even taste a lot of it. If you drank it down, I feel like you won't even taste it.
Yeah, but you would probably taste the ashes.
I would put it in my protein shake.
Oh, that'd be funny. I was thinking about the dog thing too. Do you remember that like little white Cujo dog we had sophomore year of college?
Oh my gosh!
How many owners did that dog have?
Not enough. That dog was horrible. See, that's the kind of dog I would absolutely never get. That thing was so terrible. So I don't know, Jared. What do you think of the dog?
You talking to me or Gunner?
Yeah. What do you think of the dog?
No, I love dogs. Like,
no,
what do you think? What did you think of that Cujo dog?
Oh, that dog. That dog was
demon dog.
Oh, it was Satan. It was one of those dogs where you look into its eyes and you just realize it doesn't have a soul
and 3 brain cells.
Like Derek probably is not going to like this, but whatever. It's all about content, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Remember when Garen, granted, I don't think Derek ever actually had the freezer door completely shut.
Oh my gosh!
But he put the dog in the back of the freezer. Then he took a Snapchat video of him opening up the freezer, and the dog was just sitting in the back, and he was like, "Oh, look what's for lunch! Some dog Thai soup or something like that."
Oh, that's not the best day.
Really racist. Yeah.
I remember the other thing Derek did. One night it wouldn't stop barking, and I think we had it in like the middle of January. Like it was cold and winter outside.
Oh yeah.
And I remember the thing when it stopped barking, and Derek's like, "Shut up!" And he grabbed the dog and he stuffed it in the dog carrier and set it on the patio for like 3 hours.
In the winter.
Yeah, that thing could have froze to death.
in the middle of winter, I was like, Derek, I know you hate it, but you can't abuse it.
That thing, like, only stayed with Derek, I think, like 3 or 4 nights. Derek got a combined total of like 8 hours of sleep. And that thing pooped everywhere in his room. That dog pooped over 20 times in his room.
Oh my gosh, what a joke.
It was just a shit storm in there.
Dude, it was the worst. It was the worst. You know what it reminded me of? I know we talked about it on the last episode, but I still can't believe you ran over Hef's dog, man.
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Are you over it to this day? Do you still think about it?
I'm over it. I'll be honest. Yeah. I mean, I know we all love dogs, but let's be honest, they are just dogs. Like Gunner, how many farm dogs have you had?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
And there's a difference between like a house town dog and a farm dog.
There's a good old farm dog, just a mutt.
Your corgis are invincible. I remember you were telling me.
Oh, don't. Okay, should I talk about that?
The corgis? Talk about the corgis.
Jared, did you know about my corgis near-death experiences?
Well, you can explain those, and I also want you to talk about the old Indian style of your other dogs. You know?
Oh yeah. So we just talked about Dinkla farm dogs. Okay. So the corgis, Gingy and Rex, the cutest little things you'll ever see. They're probably 10 years old now, but Gingy literally has probably 9 lives. One time she got caught in like a trap. It's called a snare. So when animals go through it, it cinches around their neck and like suffocates them. It's pretty tragic, but so Gingy got caught in one of those with my dad, and he's lucky enough that he knew how to untangle it. And Gingy was like gnarling at him and trying to bite his wrist, and like she got pretty wound up. But so there was 1, 2, Penny, our golden retriever. Gingy must have like rolled in something dead. And Penny got a hold of her by the neck and was like thrashing her back and forth. And my mom had to go out there with a broom, and she said she was hitting Penny in the head as hard as she could with the broom, trying to get her to let go of Gingy. Because you can imagine like a little corgi in the mouths of a golden retriever, just like
just getting slingshotted.
But yeah, getting smashed in the head with a broom, so she'd drop her. And so I guess my mom put Gingy in the bathtub and washed her, and Penny never touched her again. So
see, that's kind of weird because like normally Gingy and Penny are like friends, right?
Right. Well, R.I.P. Penny. We just had to put Penny down.
Yeah, I heard about that. Sorry, man.
Hey, thanks, guys. And then the third time, Gingy, we have sweet corn, and raccoons always get into the sweet corn. So we put up an electric fence. It never works. So we put in raccoon poison, and all it is like fly bait, like fly spray, and Pepsi. So it's really sugary. Coons can't get enough of it. It works really well. And so a lot of times coons will go up, they'll drink it, and literally they will walk away 10 steps and they are dead. They are just plopped down. And so my dad was doing something like in the sweet corn or whatever. The dogs hopped off the Ranger and they start licking it. And so then they're foaming at the mouth and they're like on the brink of death. My dad has to take them, like pry open their jaws, shove hydrogen peroxide down their throats so they throw it all up. And my dad said Rex was dead. He was literally dead. And he got like, thank God, I don't know how, but by the grace of God, he got like a little heartbeat going again. And so did Gingy. Like these dogs, you could have just buried them right there. They were dead. And so, I mean, they're fighters. I don't know what else to say about corgis. Probably the most loyal, best personality, and the biggest fighters. You could probably make a movie about corgis.
Such a small package too.
Yeah. What else did you want me to talk about, Jared? There's another dog.
Well, I was just kind of, Jeff like asked me if I still feel guilty about killing Hef's dog, but you know, I'm like, I was just kind of differentiating. There's a difference between a farm dog and like a regular house dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, you talked about how you went through like a baker's dozen of dogs.
Well,
you know.
Well, we also had a dog. It was a Schipperke. They're not a very common breed. This Schipperke, when it was little, got its leg bit off by a hunting dog. So it had 3 legs.
Oh my God.
This Schipperke had diabetes.
Wait. Its name was it was a Schipperke?
It was a Schipperke. Its name was Max. Sorry, I'll just call it Max.
And it had 3 legs.
Max had 3 legs.
That's kind of ironic, isn't it? Like Schipperke.
Ha! I get it. Nice, man.
Yeah.
Max had 3 legs. Max had diabetes, and Max started to develop a tumor in its head. And my dad, being a vet, like tried to take care of it, but I mean, literally your only choice is probably just to put it down. But we let it was happy. It just wobbled around and it was a good dog. And eventually, have you ever heard the story of the good Indian?
Mm-mm.
Oh, so when an Indian gets old, you know, he doesn't want to be a burden on the tribe or a burden on his family. So he goes off by himself in the middle of the night out into the wild. And he just lays down and dies. That's the story of the old Indian. And so that's what Max did. We woke up, we're like, where the hell's Max? And we went down the ditch or down the road, like a half mile. We found him in the ditch, just laying there. The good old Indian. Didn't look like he got ran over. He knew it was his time.
Peaceful.
Yeah, peaceful death. So, and I mean, we had 2 dogs that got ran over.
Oh man.
Yeah, no.
You know, that's the thing too.
But yeah, no, Jared makes a great point. Farm dog versus house dog is
the perfect idealization of a farm dog that was just no one cared about it at all. So when we had Hercules and Katie, they were Black Lab and Chocolate Lab.
Hey,
here.
dude, we have a viewer.
Hey, first viewer. First viewer, finally. It took 48 fucking minutes. We finally have a viewer on YouTube. Oh my gosh.
But the thing is, we can't tell who it is.
No, we can't, but they can chat in here. I'm gonna send them a chat right now. Jared, I'm so excited.
So can I ask, is there a video camera just showing you and Gunner just sitting there or what?
Yeah,
watching us talk. It's kind of like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan style. Nice.
Oh, absolutely, Joe Rogan. Okay, so what I was saying, Jared, was so we had this farm dog. So we had Hercules and Katie, which were like our 2 labs, Chocolate Lab, Black Lab, and they were like, you know, the family members. We loved them to death, you know. So we had this other dog that came because Jason took care of those 2 dogs.
This is funny.
And Jason had this other dog came one day out of nowhere. And by the way, Gunner, not to interrupt, the one person watching right now is Jana. She's the one person watching this.
Serious?
Yeah, she just texted you that. But anyways, Jer, what I was saying was, okay, so Jason took care of this dog named, his name was Duke, okay? So like he showed up out of nowhere or whatever. He ran away, no joke, probably 7 times while we had him. Always ran away. And my brother would get so pissed or whatever, you know. And so basically the last time that he like ran away, like we were sitting there and we had just had enough of this stupid ass dog by that time. Jason looks at me and says, fuck it, that dog's gone for good. So we had this dog for maybe 2 months that ran away 7 times. And then it was literally just gone. And we just never went after it again. It was the most worthless farm dog ever.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Hey, Jana just told me she's not going to call in. She's going to watch us, which I appreciate. But she just caught my kiss. I blew her a kiss. How cute is that?
Jesus.
Nice, man.
Jim and Pam.
Yeah. But she's not going to call in. She might type us a question. I don't know.
She'll type us a question. Hey, Jared, question for you.
Yeah.
What did you think about the Office blog post I had about all of us as the Office cast?
I thought that I was at a bar and I had a few pops and I read that and I thought that was the funniest thing I've ever read.
That's the point. So what do you think about you?
That was hilarious. Great article. That's by far your best article.
Would you say that's an accurate representation of everybody?
I think everyone was a little pissed. I was happy with mine. I think
what was
Gunnar
Jared
happy
again?
with his.
He was Dwight Schrute.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Gunnar or Jana was mad about theirs.
No.
Yeah, I think Sam didn't like being Stanley.
Well, who else is he gonna be?
But because I think I thought he was like I think he thought that you were being like sarcastic about like the women loving him. But I think you're being serious. I'm like the women love Sam.
Yeah, I mean Stanley had like 2 affairs.
Stanley had like 3 affairs in the show.
Right. Not saying that Sam's having affairs, but girls love him.
Right.
Girls love him, and he's good.
He can get the girls.
Right.
I thought Derek was the perfect Todd Packer, though.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, a little rough around the edges, but loves to drink.
Hey, I got one thing written down here.
Okay.
I hate being discriminated against.
Right.
When I order boneless wings.
Oh.
By some people, they're like, "Oh, that costs you a man card because you got boneless wings."
No,
like,
Jared, I hate to say it, but I'm one of those people that's gonna.
You're one of those people.
I can't.
I love boneless wings. Love them.
Jeff and I went to Hy-Vee and yesterday, and I got the meatloaf special. Is $5.99, 2 sides, easy pick. Just like, you know what, I'm gonna go get some wings. Comes back with boneless wings, and I'm like, Jeff, boneless wings aren't even wings. They're ground up chicken breast and breaded. They're not even wings. It's a glorified chicken nugget, and they're not good. I never order boneless wings. I never will. So
see, I'm fine if you argue that bone-in wings are just better. What bothers me is how people think it's a more feminine choice of order when you get boneless. There's some people who honestly think that it's like they're so masculine that they got bone-in wings.
Okay, I can see that. I don't know how I'd want to word that. I would get boneless wings because they are better. And I mean, if you get boneless, I'm just going to tell you, you're missing out, Jared.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jeff, you love boneless.
I love boneless wings. I like bone-in wings though too. So don't get me wrong. I'm not like, oh, bone-in wings suck. I think they're phenomenal too. My thing is like, I just like eating them with a fork where I don't have to like, I don't have to get my hands messy or whatever. And like, I mean, B-dubs, dude. Like B-dubs, you can seriously get whatever sauce you want on these like amazing boneless chicken nuggets on steroids, I guess. They're just amazing, I think. I think they're really good, and if you can eat a lot more of those in a quicker amount of time, and I think be more satisfied than just getting your fingers messy, licking them, all that crap. So that's my thoughts on it, at least, Jared.
I don't know. I don't want to fight that because it's just they're not wings. Yeah. Call them boneless breaded chicken breast. Don't call them wings.
Chicken samplers.
They're not. It's not even wing meat.
Hey, Jared, did you see my tweet for the next food challenge?
No, I didn't.
The poll. You should. Mitch Worthman is watching us right now.
Nice.
He just subscribed to the channel. So I had a challenge.
What up, Worthman?
What up, Worthman? Welcome. So basically, I did a Twitter poll of 3 different challenges. Adam Ryder helped me with it, and Gunnar kind of helped too. It's either 20 chicken nuggets in 5 minutes, 5 Hershey's chocolate bars in 3 minutes, or I eat an entire box of Fruity Pebbles with milk and in one sitting, basically. I'll be honest with you, Jared. The box of Fruity Pebbles, I could eat that under 10 minutes.
That one entices
the whole thing.
You really want to?
I could honestly eat that in probably 7 minutes. I feel
that's like the thing with Fruity Pebbles though is it's like 90% air.
I think, yeah.
10% sugar.
See, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them time me. I think that's the one that's going to win. I'm going to have them time me on Thursday when I do this, and I think I'm seriously going to eat it in like 5 to 7 minutes.
Hey, you have an official new timer now.
Jana King. Yeah, Jana will be here. She'll definitely time that for us. But all right, people, if you guys are listening, if you're on YouTube, all two of you, feel free to call us in. Worthman, if you got a question, feel free to call in right now.
Or type. You can type something.
Absolutely.
Hey, tell Jared about the food challenge I'm supposed to do.
All right, Jared. This one, it's a drinking challenge. 5 beers in 5 minutes. 5 12-ounce Busch Lights in 5 minutes. Could Gunner do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you don't think you'd puke?
No, he wouldn't.
Thanks, man.
If you
see Jeff and Jana don't really support me on this one.
Do you think, like, how if you had to do it yourself, how would you space it out, you think?
I think you'd shotgun 2 right away.
This is what I said.
You take a 30-second break.
You burp.
You shotgun, and you only shotgun.
Yeah.
You shotgun all 5 in whatever time frame you can in 5 minutes.
See, I kind of want to switch it up because, I mean, if I just shotgun all 5, 5 minutes is going to be pretty easy. I would like 5 different drinking methods to do this.
If you had a bong, if you had a beer bong, then that's easy, dude.
Oh yeah, that's what I told Jeff. Give me like 3 and 2.
So Mitch Worthman just sent us a question. It's not really like a comedy question, but he said, "When am I moving to Des Moines and Ankeny?" July 27th, I'll be moving to Des Moines and Ankeny, and that'll also be. Will that be the same weekend you're doing the beer challenge?
Yes, that is my birthday weekend.
Gunner's 24th birthday. That is going to be awesome. So Worthman, July 27th, I'll be moving to Des Moines officially.
Hey, I have written down here, speaking of beer, I don't know, this is kind of one of those things that we might need to like actually do off air and sit down and come up with a list. But
sure,
Gunner and I thought about this as a segment. Top 5 people. How about we do alive or dead? I don't care. You guys can decide.
Let's do it
alive
now.
Or dead to have a beer with. Top 5 people to have a beer with.
All right, I could think of like 3 of them right now.
Well,
okay,
and you're going to give zero thought to this.
So okay, I'll just.
All right.
One of them I would do, as much as he was a hated person in this world. I would honestly want to sit down and have a beer with Adolf Hitler. I would want to look at him like, what the hell was going through your mind? I think that'd be a really good one because I'd be like, it's a super infamous person. He's not good. He's horrible, obviously, but
I think that's a common answer.
That is a very common answer. Another one would be Jesus Christ. I feel like everybody would say Jesus Christ.
JC, yeah.
JC, absolutely.
JC and JP, sit down for a drink.
JC and JP.
You might have to have a glass of wine with him.
Yeah, I was going to say he was more of a wine drinker.
I'd have to be on my best behavior if I was having
Hey, maybe a hot take here. Was JC a wine snob?
Wow. Yes.
Was he?
Well, there's only one wine snob I know, and that's Eric. And I just feel like, well, Eric doesn't really have Jesus Christ personalities.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Eric and JC have the same personality, but
JC definitely shared it a lot more than Eric does.
Yeah,
he would. Jesus Christ would give us his $300 bottle of wine and not ask for a single penny. Okay, Eric would not do the same. So Eric is a wine snob. Jesus Christ is not.
I mean, Jesus was kind of living in wine country, so he only liked the good stuff, probably.
Yeah. Yep.
Like he liked those Macedonian grapes or whatever.
Absolutely. Jared, who's somebody you'd have a beer with?
Oh man.
Or do you want to save your list?
Man, it'd probably be good to maybe save our list.
Yeah, because I would like to sit down and actually think about this and give a good reason.
We'll do it for.
How about preview to next week?
Yeah, preview to next week. We'll do that in part of our segment next week.
Each of us will come back with our 5, no collaborating at all, and see if anyone overlaps. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be episode 31. Jared, this is the 30th episode of me doing this. Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yeah, well, half of them sucked, but
whoa.
You think so?
Shots fired, JP.
Half of them were not good. No.
Why?
The ones where you were like pushing out 3 episodes a week. Some of those,
and they were like 12 minutes long.
Yeah, some of them. One of them during like the March Madness, all you did was just read the scoreboards.
People got.
And you're like, and Norfolk State over Missouri.
Yeah.
And then Duke beat Butler. And then in the East Division, that's all you did.
It was just a news update.
Yeah, it's like I could just Google that, Jeff.
Fuck you.
Sorry, man.
Hey, I took the leap. I'm improving every week. If I've gotten to this point at 30 episodes, wait till episode 60.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
What about episode 1,030? Because we've got 1 million to go.
You're going to have 1 million to go.
You guys like
that a little bit.
how soon before you're gonna go 999,945 left? Because at some point we're approaching 1 million.
Yeah,
we're getting closer every week.
I think it'll be a huge milestone when I do number 100. I think number 100 is going to be like a 3-hour episode too. It's going to be a long one with like everybody, I think. But
everyone,
dude,
everybody.
I'm really hoping though, like, yeah. So people, come on, call in. We've had 2 callers on this.
I'm trying to get Janet to call, and she just refuses to.
Hey, I got another list written down here that we could probably just do live debate right now. We don't need to make a list. Okay.
Okay. Let's get hot and heated.
All right, come on. Top 5 sports memories in our lifetime.
Okay.
Or moments. Top 5 sports moments.
In order or no order?
Let's throw them out there.
Are we coming up collectively top 5, not top 5 individually?
Let's try to do it collectively.
Okay. That's a good point.
What would my number 1 be? I watch on YouTube once a week.
Oh, the Steelers Super Bowl.
No, that's what I'm saying. If it was me individually, I'd say that.
Okay. So, but realistically,
can I tell you what I think the number 1 moment is?
Yeah, is it kick 6?
It's actually not kick 6. I think it's Malcolm Butler picking off Russell Wilson.
I say Cubs win Game 7.
See, I say Aaron Boone, 04 ALCS Game 7.
That's the number 1.
That one was huge, dude. If you look at it, more people watch that.
Won the ALCS, not the Super Bowl.
I'm sorry. I'm with Jared on that.
Okay, well, I think it should be in the top 5.
Maybe.
You guys aren't baseball fans, though. So,
well, I knew you were gonna freaking play that card.
Well, it's true. It's true.
I'm not a baseball.
I hate the NFL. I'm not an NFL fan, so why should I say the Malcolm Butler one?
Because it was the Super Bowl.
You're not even that big of a baseball fan.
That's I think the Cubs winning Game 7 is absolutely top 5.
Yeah, that's got
absolutely. Be. I think. Yeah. See, the Malcolm Butler thing could be that. Honestly, yeah, that would be
Vince Young scoring a touchdown in the Rose Bowl.
That's probably the biggest college football one, honestly.
I think kick 6 was, but
see, I would think kick 6 is bigger. Oh, but that was just the Iron Bowl. That wasn't even the Super Bowl or the championship.
That's a good point.
So don't be a hypocrite, Jared. Come on.
Oh, for Christ's sake, dude.
Hey, I'm just trying to play the game.
All right.
It was Auburn versus Alabama. It's the biggest.
Yankees Red Sox. Are you serious?
Yeah,
Come on.
That's a good counterpoint. I'll give you that, Gunny.
Thank you.
All right, so we're not even going to rank them. We all agree the Cubs is one of them. We're not saying it's 1 or 5. Cubs is absolutely one of them.
In the top 5.
Okay. Would you guys say LeBron's block in Game 7 of the NBA Finals? Would you consider
that's the most overrated play ever.
What's the top?
I would agree with Jared on that one. That one's probably overrated.
What's the top NBA play then?
I think Ray Allen's 3 in the corner.
Ray Allen in the corner. Yeah. Ray Allen in the corner.
What about Kyrie's 3? Because that
happened with like a minute 50 left.
Yeah.
No, there was like 45 seconds left. There
wasn't that much time. No way.
There was not a minute 50 because that was the last score. That was the last score of the game when Kyrie made
I know it was, and that's because everyone went scoreless. Everyone went 0 for 6 ever since. It happened with over a minute 30 left. I almost guarantee it.
I'm gonna look right now.
Yeah, you might have to Google.
Okay, so what?
I would say Ray Allen's corner 3.
That's a good one. That's an absolute
for basketball.
Good one. That's an absolute good one. College. Okay, if we're talking college basketball, Villanova's game winner against UNC is probably up there.
That's the biggest in our lifetime.
Yeah, it was.
If
what about Mario Chalmers over Memphis? I think that one's bigger.
Yeah, the one that
no, it's because I like the what Marcus Page.
Yeah, that's true. The comeback,
the possession before. Yeah. that makes that shot almost more incredible.
All right, good point.
I've said this time and time again to you guys that championship that was Butler versus Duke. If Gordon Hayward hits that half quarter, that is the best play in college basketball history, and it's not close if he hits that because that would have been a humongous upset. Butler's not a powerhouse at all. They beat the powerhouse. Like that would have been the best play in college basketball history, and it would have not been close if he makes that. Could you see that, Jared?
You brought up a good point.
No, I think so.
Okay. So I'm looking at this. Okay.
69 seconds remain.
No, it was 50. It was 53 seconds left when he made it.
All right. Well, I was kind of wrong, but
It's a lot of time.
It's not a buzzer beater. It's not a buzzer.
It's a significant amount of time. I'll give you that. Okay, so we said Ray Allen. We said the Cubs. We said Malcolm Butler pick. I could see that.
Kick 6 was huge.
Yeah.
Where do you get? See, I put Malcolm Butler in one ahead, but you could make an argument for the Falcons Super Bowl with Tom Brady.
Which play? The Edelman catch? That's probably the biggest play.
Yeah, I guess if we have to put it down to a play, then that's kind of tough to do.
Yeah, I guess we have to kind of define moment.
See, then I don't put that play in there because, they made the huge comeback, but it was like.
What about Eli Manning falling down, helmet catch?
I would put that up there for sure.
God, that's tough.
And I am biased, but Big Ben's touchdown pass was huge. I mean, you say that you can say Tracy Porter's pick 6 against the Colts.
Drew Tate touchdown 05 Orange Bowl.
Stop.
Okay.
If that was like the national title, maybe. For some
Jeff Woody running it in against Okie State.
That's the biggest probably Iowa State play ever. Probably. What else you got, Jared, for plays? Like, is there like a big soccer one?
Well, the thing is like if we're putting the Cubs in there wasn't like a massive play.
Right. There's no memorable
wow.
But I mean, it was extra. If you look at that time, it was extra innings.
It was.
It was Game 7. It was a great series the whole way through.
Do you put the Minneapolis Miracle like even top 10 in the last? Let's just say the last 20 years.
No.
That's probably going to piss off a lot of viewers.
It will. No, I think it might be because it's the only NFL playoff game ever that's been a walk-off, like a Hail Mary. That's the only game that's ever happened in the NFL playoffs. But I don't know.
I just don't like it because Case Keenum does not have a neck.
True.
You ever notice that? When he plays, you cannot see even a stub of his neck.
No, I absolutely.
There's always something wrong with those Viking quarterbacks, like Sam Bradford in his sleeves, Case Keenum in the neck.
Kirk Cousins will be normal, I think, though, for the most part.
I hope so.
I absolutely think so. Man, I tell you what, though, boys, I am so ready for football season. I am just digging it so much. Jerry, you're probably excited. You probably go to some Seattle games, won't you?
Maybe. Yeah, I'll definitely try to get Rams tickets. See, I'm probably not going to get cable, which might be an issue. So I might just have to go to a sports bar or something to watch ESPN. But
what about the Amazon Fire Stick or something, or your Amazon thing? Could you get TV service through that?
So I'm getting internet, obviously, and I'm through Xfinity, and they're gonna give me Fox, CBS, ABC, and NBC. So that's gonna give me, the majority of the primetime games. I'm basically just missing the ESPNs or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into that Amazon Fire thing.
Yeah, I guess with ESPN you'll miss Monday Night Football, but college football playoff is moving to Fox in a couple of years, I know, which is good because ESPN is garbage. Honestly,
I'm looking forward to Gus Johnson just screaming in my ear.
I don't know. I just like ESPN. I like ABC or not ABC. I like the NFL commentators way more than I like Kirk Herbstreit, but I don't know. Just some of the Beth Mowins. You get in that 10 a.m. Big Ten game. It's just stop, dude.
Well, I mean, what do you mean? It's a 10 a.m. Big Ten game. No one wants to watch that.
Oh man, there's just some of those.
Yeah, but I'm a huge Beth Mowins hater, but isn't there's still something that kind of gets me excited just thinking about her voice because you're in college football
and
season,
it's Minnesota Northwestern. It's a cold, windy October.
Yeah. But the thing is, once you hear Beth Mowins' voice, you're like, oh yeah, well tonight
we're in for a great day.
Kirk Herbstreit has got Ohio State, Penn State, number 3 versus number 5, and it's going to be awesome.
So her voice is just like a little jump start, or it's like a little what's the word I'm thinking of? It's like a little tease. You know what you're gonna get.
It's kind of like a twisted tea. It kind of jump starts your night.
Wow.
I sometimes wake up from a nap because after Lee Corso puts on the headgear, I usually I might fall asleep a little bit. I wake up and I'm in the middle of the Beth Mowins game. I'm I usually go up, I get a sandwich, and I head back to my couch. And then I'm ready for some big primetime football.
Well, then you'll get a 2 or 3 o'clock SEC game, Tennessee, Georgia.
Yeah, she kind of just serenades me into the mood, and for the Tennessee, Georgia. You get Brad Nessler, you get Gary Danielson.
You used to get our boy.
Oh my gosh, Vern Lundquist.
God, R.I.P.
Hey, he's still on the 16th green though, isn't he? Or is it 17th?
17th.
I don't remember.
I think he's on the 17th green of Augusta National.
Because isn't that the water one?
If you just give me a dream team, give me Gus Johnson and Jim Nantz, and I will sit there for days. Oh, that's just a dream.
Those are both play-by-play guys, though.
I don't care. Jim Nantz's voice.
You don't need any color.
So soothing.
Yeah, you do. You need a color analyst.
Just give me Jim.
Jana logged off. See you, Jana.
Bye, Jana. Just give me Jim Nantz in the AFC Championship. Oh, man, I could listen to that for days.
Hey, I'm thinking, what could we spice up, the visuals here on our YouTube channel? We could do a themed, maybe next week do a tropical theme or, like a desert theme.
I could turn the Christmas lights on.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
How about, just to, spice things up a bit. Every 10 minutes or so, you guys play a hand of strip poker.
Ooh.
Just in the middle of conversation.
I mean, we could do the food challenges. We could do food challenges live on the podcast too.
That'd be crazy. I bet no one's ever done that before.
Oh, never.
Probably not, dude.
Live? Come on.
What made you choose YouTube instead of Instagram?
Because you can't do Instagram live on your computer.
Oh, really?
I told him maybe like Twitter, like Periscope.
Hey, I just thought of something.
Yeah.
What's your guys' opinion on this whole Instagram, asking messages thing?
I love it. I don't see why people are getting mad about it.
People are getting mad about it?
If you go to Twitter, everyone's like, I don't care for people to ask me questions, or I don't care to answer questions. Then don't. Skip their story. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, and most of what it is it's just really hot girls posting stuff, and then
what's wrong with that? Nothing.
There's nothing wrong with that. But then it's just you just get weird guys like, hey, can I touch your butt?
Well, they don't have to. They don't have to answer them.
Right.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, it's 9:02. We're gonna close the phone lines. I think Hefla's gonna call in, but we'll get more next week. It's just the first little roundabout. So.
Yeah.
Shout out to Eric for being an Electric Factory, huh?
It was funny.
It was.
This is his best
he
appearance.
brought some energy.
His best appearance.
Well, we kind of lost did we lose our savageness a little bit?
I think we are kind of playing more to a PG audience now.
Yeah, this episode we kind of are. Some of them we get kind of raunchy, and I loved it. But
yeah, the whole Dick Oatmeal story with Eric last week, that was maybe a little raunchy. But
that was a little over the top.
That's one word I hate is raunchy. Stop that.
Yeah, but have you ever seen raunchy dunks? Name a word that describes that video better. You can't.
Well, low quality, amateur, lack of athleticism, terrible editing, hilarious wardrobes, pre-puberty stage, all those words would work too.
And then dunks.
And then there are some dunks involved, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Jeff, this is going to take you a while to edit.
Yeah, it will. But either way, Jer, I think we are going to end on that note with raunchy dunks. As always, we will talk to you next week, my friend.
All right, see you, boys.
See you, man. Holy cow. That was a combo, man.
All right, see you, boys.
See you, man.
Yeah, fuck. That was an hour and 10 minutes long.